You know, when they say being submissive doesn't necessarily mean to be kneeling down and say, oh my God. It means to move in your feminine energy. But for me, because I've always had to take care of myself, because I've always had to do things for myself, it's very difficult for me to now, allow a man take care of me.
You know just what you do to me. Play my emotions like a pair of puppet strings. Did it ever occur to you my heart's more than a toy? Please go easy on me, babe.
Hi guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm very sorry about my background. Honestly, shooting this video has been one of the most difficult things. First of all, I have really small space, but I've been wanting to do a YouTube video since 2017. I will start and stop, and you know what, this year I started to be more serious and more intentional about everything that I do. And so here is me just doing it anyhow, anyway, hoping that eventually I'll be able to get a bigger space. I'll be able to get all the equipment I need. And please ignore the noise in the background. When I started setting up, my neighbors decided to turn on their gen, talking about the devil. So today I'm going to be talking about embracing your femininity. That's what I'm going to talk about today, embracing your femininity. I'm someone who, because I've always been alone, I'm the first child, the way my mom brought us to be independent, and also I've always, lived in my masculine energy, because I always knew that I had to take care of myself. I had to survive. I had to be strong for myself. So I've always had to do things for myself. But now I'm getting older and I've made a lot of mistakes, and I'm beginning to learn. Like, I'm no longer in that victim mentality phase. I'm going to learn some of the things that I've been doing wrong, and I'm trying to correct it. So you know how for us ladies, we would date a guy and this guy wouldn't spend a dime on you, and then you eventually break up with this guy and he's dating somebody else and he's spending so much money on the person, taking the person on trips, and you're like, God, am I a needle? And then it happens with one guy. You're like, oh, maybe this guy is a very horrible person, and then it keeps happening. It happens with another guy, and you can't keep blaming it on the person. So it used to happen to me a lot as well. Like, literally a lot of the guys I've dated, especially the ones I've genuinely liked, they would, during our relationship, they wouldn't really spend on me. They wouldn't really, I'm not saying that the relationship has to be all about money. So I'm just talking about financial support, or even being there emotionally, or just like having that masculine energy and being supportive, knowing that I have this person that is very much in support of me. So that used to happen a lot. Like, I'll date this guy, but it just wouldn't help. And then we'll break up, he'll start dating somebody else, and he's doing all the things that I always wanted. And I'm like, so I got an aha moment. And I realized that the reason why this happens to me is because I move in my masculine energy. So when I'm dating a guy, I'm like, I'm like, I got this. It's not like it's obvious. It's not like the things I say, but there are moments when I could ask for help. But because I'm unable to ask for help, it's not something I know how to do. I'm used to taking care of myself. I'm used to just pushing ahead, and then I expect them to be able to help me. I'm used to just making decisions. I just move so much in my masculine energy that at the end of the day, I start feeling bad when they don't help me. I start feeling bad when I start getting upset when I expect this guy to come in and he doesn't, because I've already created that basis of, I can do this, I've got this. So how is he going to help me? This is also a circle in my family where you see women, they're the ones taking care of men. So like, so a lot of things that happen to us didn't just start. It started with our forefathers. So now that I'm going through a journey, I realize that this is actually a pattern in my family, where the women in my family are the ones always taking care of the man. I always attract men who, even when I attract a man who has, he still doesn't take care of me. And before, I used to be in victim mode. I feel like, oh my God, men are just scum. Maybe I'm just unlucky with men. No, it's something I'm doing. And I'm going to realize that it's something I'm doing. I have to change the way I see guys. I have to change the way I behave when I'm in a relationship. And there's just something wrong. Because if something keeps happening to you over and over again, you can't keep blaming it on people. Then there's something about yourself that you need to assess and think about and say, no, there's something wrong. I need to be able to do things differently. So what did I notice that was wrong? I've mentioned the first one, which is moving in the masculine energy, always feeling like I got this, I can do this, I can do that, and unintentionally or unconsciously, that's the energy I'm putting out there. So instead of actually like just asking for help, when they say being submissive doesn't necessarily mean to be kneeling down and saying, oh my God. It means to move in your feminine energy. But for me, because I've always had to take care of myself, because I've always had to do things for myself, it's very difficult for me to now, allow a man take care of me. Even though that's what I want, but that's not what I'm communicating. I know I'm preaching to somebody. Say amen. So now, when you've noticed this pattern, you dated Kayode did not take care of you, Kayode broke up with you, went to marry another babe, he's taking care of her, opened a shop for her, took her to Dubai, and you're like, you date Chike does the same thing, you're like, girl, you gotta check yourself. So when you notice this, the first thing I did, like when I realized that this was a pattern, at first I said I was in victim mode, but first thing I did when I realized that this was a pattern, I prayed. I started praying for clarity. Oh Lord, show me the way. Father, show me the way. What have I been doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? What do I need to change? What do I need to change? How do I need to change things? And to think about the choices you made, think about the things you said, think about the way you portrayed, that, oh, I've got this. So the first thing first is to pray. The second thing is learn to receive help. So now I'm a very impatient person, and I would normally like to do things with myself, like I already mentioned. I remember recently, now that I'm more aware that my masculine energy tends to take over all the time, and I want to learn to move in my feminine energy. I remember recently I was coming back from a trip, and then I was at the airport. So when in Nigerian airport, local airports, when you land, when you get to the when you land, so usually when you order a cab, the cab you have to go to the car park, which is like the elevator is not working, so you have to walk on the stairs. It's very annoying and very stressful. So I remember that day I came back and I ordered the ride, and the guy was like, okay, that he's at the other airport, he's going to come to this airport, but he's going to have to park at the car park, but he's willing to come and pick me up, come out of his cab and pick me and take me to where he's parked. I said, okay. I was waiting 10 minutes, this guy had not showed up. I'll call him, hello, where are you? He said, I'm coming, madam, I just parked, I'm walking towards you. The impatient me wanted to just say, you know what, forget about it, I'm coming to come and meet you. And I was carrying load, I was wearing heels, I was wearing stilettos, I just finished a presentation. The impatient me was like, I'm coming. I wanted to start pulling my bag to him. And then the Holy Spirit reminded me, Karen, you're moving in your femininity. You're a princess. Allow him to treat you like a princess. Wait for him. Let him come and help you with your bag. I was like, okay, Lord. I just stood there. It took a while. It took like 15 minutes for the guy. I'm like, guy, did you go to Kafansha? But I feel like the Holy Spirit was just testing me to see if I was learning. And then the guy came, helped me carry my bag, took it upstairs. I sat at the back. Before, I would normally sit at the front, but I'm just like, you know what I'm trying to say is in the little things. Now that you're single, how are you showing up in your feminine energy? It's the little things. Waiting for a guy to open the door. Waiting for him to, help you carry your bag. Allow them help you carry your bag. Those little things, girl. You gotta remember that you're a princess. Okay, so another thing I learned recently is that this is painful to me. I realized that I wasn't a princess. Yes, I wanted princess treatment, but I was not a princess. Because if you're a princess, you don't need to tell anybody that you're a princess. People will say it. The moment you walk into a room, people will say, oh my God, this princess. Oh, they'll treat you like a princess. But I wasn't a princess because I didn't see myself as one. For you to receive princess treatment, you have to see yourself as a princess. You have to take care of yourself. Spend money on yourself. Recently, I started investing in skincare. Take care of yourself. Spend money on yourself. Wear nice things. Take yourself out. Take yourself to the places where you want a guy to take you to on a date. For example, like you want to, when a guy comes, you're in talking stage to a guy, and it's like, oh, where do you want to go? You're like, anywhere. You're going to Mr. Biggs. Excuse me. Hello. Please, there. You need to open your eyes and do those things for yourself. And taking care of yourself is relative, because there's some people that might just be able to just afford Mr. Biggs. I'm not saying that Mr. Biggs is a bad thing. I'm just saying that you need to give yourself the things that you expect other people to give you. If you want princess treatment, treat yourself like a princess. Take care of yourself. Carry yourself like a queen. Carry yourself like a goddess. Take care of yourself. Spend money on yourself. Spend money on skincare. Spend money on clothing. Spend money on looking good. Invest in yourself mentally. It's not just about the physical. It's not just about spending money on the physical. Invest in yourself. Take courses. Invest in your career. Just be in a good place. Set a standard for yourself that when men come into your life, they want to meet up to that standard. It's very important. And as you're setting that standard for yourself, it's very important that you also remember to breathe and receive love. Because I realize that when you get to a point where you're taking care of yourself, you're doing everything, when the guy comes to you, you're like, I don't need anybody. I don't need you. I don't. Please, darling. Please. Don't do that to yourself. Set that standard. But when a man comes into your life, be open to receiving love. If the man doesn't take care of you, except the man genuinely doesn't have. But a man who has, usually men move in their masculine energy, and they always want to, when a guy loves you, they always want to take care of you, they always want to do nice things for you, they always want to be supportive. When you're not getting that kind of energy, and this guy has, then you know that it is something you're doing, except the guy is just generally a stingy person. And if he is, please, my darling, pack your load and be going. You have no reason to be with a stingy nigga. Hope he still doesn't block me. Before, I was in victim mode. I was like, oh my god, why do men do this? Why do men do? But I started to think about it. I'm like, you know what, there's something you're doing wrong. You have to change the way you think. And I'm actively doing that. It's not that I'm perfect. I can't change something I've been doing for 10 years, since I started dating all my life. I can't change it in a day. But it's the little things that I'm doing now. And I realized that there's been a lot of changes. Like now, like I said, that guy came to pick me up. Now when I'm going out on dates, I realize that guys want to open the door for me. There's just a shift in the kind of treatment I receive, and it's a good thing. I'm happy about it. I'm very much happy about it, and I'm very much looking to see that more change happen. I'm very much working on myself. I'm very much open to more good things happening. So this doesn't mean that I don't still move in my masculine energy. When I'm at work, when it involves work, my dear, like my masculine energy is masculine. I move in my masculine energy. Like I know that guys are even intimidated by my drive, and I really I can't be bothered that you're intimidated by my drive. That's your problem, bro. But one thing I have learned now is to be able to just balance it. As much as I move in my masculine energy, it helps me to get things done, to get things moving. But I also remember my feminine energy, because there's sometimes, especially when you're coordinating a team, there's sometimes when you want them to do something, and you just have to lean into that feminine side, because that's what will work for you at the end of the day. So yes, I think the most important thing is learning to have a balance between the masculine and the feminine energy. And then also note that when it now comes to getting a guy to help you, by the time you're moving your feminine energy, you're doing all the right things, taking care of yourself, being more mindful of when it is that you're making decisions that you shouldn't make, or when it is that you're saying things, you won't really necessarily need to ask for help. Basically, all you just do is talk about the problem. Oh my god, baby, my car is bad, I don't know what to do. Oh my god, Jesus help me. Before you know, the guy is already coming. He's coming with all his masculinity, superhero. He wants to help you. So it's not like you start demanding and saying, why? You must pay my school fees. You must do this. You just talk about the problem. And if the guy likes you, talk about it in such a way that makes you seem like you're helpless. Well, that's what I'm learning. I might be wrong, but it be working. Alright guys, I don't want this episode to be long. I know I rambled a lot. It's the first time, and I'm still trying to get a hang of this whole YouTube thing, but I am excited.